are many different fallacies. Okay, it's wrong reasoning, fallacy. So the ones I listed here, again, are the ones I consider occurred or happen quite often in students' argumentation. False cause, warranty conclusion, appeal to authority, appeal to the herd. I'm not going to go into details. You can look them up in the dictionary, or you find any textbooks that talks about argumentation, talks about reasoning, particularly reasoning. You can definitely find the meaning of these fallacies. Let's take a look at examples. More debate contests should be held because such contests are helpful. Okay, please tell me, which quality this one reflects? Vague. Which word is vague? Helpful, right? Okay, so as you can see, why this kind of training can be very helpful when it comes to training your students writing as well. Right? Very often they will say, oh, very nice, very good, very beneficial, very helpful, or very harmful. What do you mean by it? Okay. So you have to be more specific. Helpful in what way? Right? Okay. So you push them to think, okay, and to give you more elaboration on some vague words. Okay. Look at the second one. More debate contests should be held because I then get to participate in those contests. I love the thrill and challenges presented by debate. Which one does this one reflect? Let's appeal to the majority of people. Why? Because the speaker only refers to I. Oh, quick, more. Okay, if I love singing, I can sing well. Well, I think our school should definitely have more singing contests. Right? Then I can accumulate a lot of trophies, awards, certificates. Okay. So then what about people who are not so good? Do they agree with you? Right? So this is the reason I don't think it's going to appeal to a lot of people. Okay, that's just your case. What about other people? Right? How about the next one? More debate contests should be held because we saw too many fights among the legislators on TV. Does not bear a clear logical connection to the opinion, right? When you hear your students say, more, okay, 我们应该要有比较多的 debate contest， 因为你看这立法委员每天在打架，是 OK， 他们每天在打架，跟我们要有比较多的 debate contest。What's the connection, right? Probably there is the connection, but at least in the sentence, the connection is not stated very clearly. Right? So when you hear your students, give you this reason, you say, okay, I probably see the connection there a little bit, but can you make the connection even more clear? Okay, how is the fights going on in the legislative yuan related to having more debate competition? Can you elaborate on the connection a little bit more? The last one. More debate contests should be held because my school sister said participation in debates is beneficial. This one? Fallacy? Okay, is this a fallacy? Can anyone explain to me why it's a fallacy? Okay, because my school sister said. Okay, and then you will question like, okay, so who is your school sister? Right? Okay. If you continue, they say, well, because my school sister has participated in a lot of debate competition or has participated in debate competition last year, and she has really learned a lot. Okay, if you go on to elaborate the credentials, the credibility of your school sister's remark, okay, comment, then this one will be much better. Okay, but if you simply say, well, because my school sister says so, people will say, okay, that's the same. Right? Okay, if you say, well, because Charlotte says so, then okay, Charlotte, okay. Possibly an authority who has done some research on debates, okay, I can probably trust her words. But your school sister, so who is your school sister? Okay, so we can elaborate on the school sister's quality to make a comment like this, okay, to make the reason more convincing. Okay, and take a look at what I wrote in note. Words or phrases used to introduce a reason, such as because, or for the reason that, or sometimes you have the therefore, right? Hence, thus, that kind of words. Do not automatically make what comes after these words a reason. In fact, what follows may bear no logical connection to the position, okay, or irrelevant to the position, or may not advance or expound on the position. Circular reasoning. Take a look at the example. More debate contests should be held because people argue anyway. Okay, so because people argue anyway. So even though people argue anyway, it's introduced after the word because. Okay, it doesn't mean that's the justification for more debate contests should be held. Okay, so don't be fooled by those linguistic elements. Okay, more debate contests should be held because there should be more debate contests. Okay, or because there are too few debate contests, so more debate contests should be held. Okay, you see the circular? This is an example of circular. You can write down circular reasoning. Okay, circular, right? So circular reasoning means what? 它就在里面绕，在绕。为什么在绕？它永远都只是讲 position， 它只是换一个讲法，但它没有给 reason。Okay, more debate contests should be held because there are not enough debate contests. But what's your reason? Okay, so when you hear these weak reasons, then what you should be doing is to challenge. Okay, I'd like you to, let's see if I have. Okay, on this page, you see the box, the second box. The first box is introducing, right? So we have, those expressions. The words I put in italics, 斜体字, okay, are the actual expressions you can, pass on to your students, and they can make use of those expressions. Okay, so we will skip that part. Take a look at the second box. The left column, when to challenge reasons, right? Okay, when no reason is given, when the reason does not bear a clear logical connection, when the reason is vague, when the reason lacks appeal to the majority of people. Okay, so you have these four situations. And the expressions on the right-hand side are the expressions. You don't have to give that many, but you can just probably pick 2 or 3 and then give it to your students. Okay, so when they hear their peers not giving the reason, they can say, what is your reason for saying that? Do you think this is a very difficult sentence structure for your student to use? I don't think so, right? Or you can say, well, you still have not given a reason to support your position. Can you imagine, can you envision your students, say the sentence? Okay, not very difficult, in terms of linguistic expression. Okay, when it does not bear a clear logical connection, then you can have your students say, well, what is the connection? The word connection probably is somewhat a big word. What is the connection between your reason and your conclusion or your position? Okay. Does your reason support your position? Okay. I don't see how your reason supports your position. And then number 3, when the reason is vague, you can have your students say, well, you did not state your reason very clearly. Okay, can you say it again? Can you explain it a little bit more? Your reason sounds, a bit unclear, vague. Okay. And finally, lacks appeal to the majority. How do you know that is true? Yesterday, I just had students from Philippines do their second group debate, and they now really like to ask the question, how do you know that's true? How do you know that's the case? Okay, so when they make a statement, they say, okay, during the challenge reputation phase, many of them just say, okay, again, the same question, how do you know that's the case? Right? So pushing their peer to provide, some evidence, okay, or to elaborate on their reasoning. So it's not just, okay, because I believe so, because I think so. That's not enough. That's not good enough. Okay, so these are the expressions you can have your students use. And very quickly, let's move down to evidence. Okay, turn to page 5. 证据. Okay, evidence.